Welcome, everyone, to Collision After Dark, the garage. And I guess I'm just going to hit the intro.
Tell me what's my age. Tell me what's my occupation. Tell me what's my race. Tell me is it with inflation. Tell me what's my age. Tell me what's my race. Tell me all my sexual distaste. Tell me what you need. Tell me how you feel. Tell me all your information. I wanna know. I wanna know. I wanna know. I wanna know. Tell me how it's fresh. Tell me if the item is for sale, and tell me if it is.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your October 21st, 2023 edition of The Garage, also known as Collision After Dark. I am the effing expert, Mr. Isaacs. I'm the host of this damn thing. You guys know who I am.
If you don't know who he is, why don't you know who he is? I am, of course, the patron saint of professional wrestling. I am that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. My name is Canada Dry, damn it.
And you guys know, every Saturday night, we have perfected the Saturday night threesome videos here on YouTube. Go ahead and introduce yourself, fine sir.
Oh, sorry. I'm effing Golden Graham, but I should be Sleepy Graham tonight. I apologize,
Ooh,
guys.
Sleepy Graham. We got
I
a new
am.
nickname for him.
Sleepy
Oh.
Graham.
It's like Donald Trump would call him.
He's Sleepy
Yo,
Joe.
Sleepy Graham down
I mean,
there.
he could just be Sleepy Joe. Sleepy
No,
Joe.
I don't want to be associated with him. No, thank you.
Sleepy Joe.
All right, Sleepy Graham it is. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Magic 8 Ball. Will Sleepy Graham stay awake? All signs point to yes.
I got you.
Will
Might be a
you
little incoherent here and there, but I'm here for the long haul.
Guys, I was telling somebody earlier that I'm going to be in zombie mode here because my brain is probably about 30% functional after 3 hours of wrestling at 11 o'clock at night here on the East Coast. Now, Canada Dry is on the West Coast. So, like, he's never going to be tired for any of these shows. Aaron, I don't know if you're aware, but I was unable to access your website. Neither was Ayaka.
That's because our website is on holidays right now. It's over in Hawaii. It's taking some time off. Some well-deserved R&R.
Yeah, it typically goes on vacation around Halloween every year. That's just kind of a
It will be
known
back.
thing.
Don't worry. It'll be up and
It's
running.
going to get its cookies.
Yeah.
We got Noob in the house. What's up, Noob? We
What's
can
up,
always
Noob?
count on Noob to pop in, man. Like I played a little bit of Call of Duty this morning, and my pal Joe Graham here and Noob both popped in and said
course.
hello for a few minutes. On
Did
the
you play the zombie version, or what'd you do?
I did the zombie version, yeah. The haunting, little special event they've got going on now, where when you die, you become a zombie, and then you got to run and try to kill the active players. So
I like it. I like it.
it's fun. It's fun. I might do some
Get
more
in the
again.
Halloween spirit, right? Ghouls and ghosts.
Yeah, absolutely. I might try it again in the morning. I don't think I'll get to it tonight because
A little later on, we have another Wrestling with the Paranormal clip that we're going to show you guys a little bit later.
Oh, that is excellent. Can't wait for that because this is the season, guys. This is the season for spooky shit.
Yes.
And It is also the season and the evening for AEW Collision. So let's get right into it, gentlemen. What do you say? We've got match number 1 here. Bryan Danielson versus Andrade El Idolo. My God. I'm just going to go ahead and start right off the bat here. This is the best singles match that has ever aired on Collision. I love this match. I loved it. I thought it was great. 5-star match. These two worked extremely well together. They worked their asses off. They went almost a half hour. I mean, they went like 25 minutes. This was a classic. I loved it. Canada Dry, you seemed a little suspicious of my statement there. What did you think?
I was very suspicious.
Okay.
Like you didn't shake an 8-ball to come up with an answer or anything.
It's all off this 8-ball right here, my man.
That's a cue ball, sir. It was a very, very good match. Like, not taking anything away from either of them. But I don't know. Was it the best ever?
Singles match on Collision. I think so. I can't think of one off the top of my head that I liked better. I don't think it's the best Collision match. I think that was FTR Bullet Club Gold. But I think this is number 2 for me.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
Golden Graham, what'd you think of the match?
Spoiler alert, this was the best thing of the night for me, of all 3 hours. Like, it was all downhill from there as far as I'm concerned. But even the end, like what happened after the match got me hyped for what we're going to do in the future.
Yes.
Like,
but that's a talking point on its own, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about that. So at the end of the match, Danielson obviously wins. I like the fact that they kind of left Andrade looking strong with the roll-up finish. I like that. So that way he's not like definitively beaten down. He still kind of maintains some face there. Like I always like when they do that. It kind of maintains some legitimacy. After the match is over, the lights go out. Our good old pal Malachi Black, that I think we were just wondering the other night where the hell he was. He's back and kicks the head off of Bryan Danielson.
That may be the best kick I've ever seen him do.
Yeah.
Like, he had so much velocity on that kick, on that spin. It was ridiculous.
Well, it also has to do with Mr. Bryan Danielson selling the shit out of it, right?
Yeah, that too.
Danielson sells. Like his selling is amazing. And like I noticed in the not to jump around too much here, but in the Okada match back at Forbidden Door, he was like selling like he was having a seizure. And then I noticed afterwards that document came out of stuff they're not going to allow in matches anymore, and one of them was selling a seizure. So
apparently our show is better than the Steve Austin show.
Well, that's good because the Steve Austin show's been on the air been off the air for like 4 or 5 years now. So I would hope that we're better than that. But thank you, though. That's a hell of a compliment.
They still have some ones on the network that they do.
Well, I think that the old Podcast One or whatever they call it now, I think they just take his old episodes and literally just release them again every single week like they're brand new. And they've been doing this for like a couple years now.
Hey, if it works for them, it works for them.
Yeah, people are still tuning in. Like, why not?
Obviously, people are because they keep doing it. So, but yeah.
The Undertaker getting a podcast now, too?
Who is?
The Undertaker?
I did not hear that. No. I did not hear that.
We're against it now. Like, we got all these like pro wrestlers doing podcasts. And
is it with Conrad or is it just like, who is it with? Do we know?
It just said Undertaker's starting up his new podcast.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Huh. I'll have to check into that and see. Did you all ever listen to Austin's old podcast?
I've never listened to a whole podcast. I've listened to a couple on like the WWE network. But
yeah, that's more like when he's doing like the one with Jericho, and sometimes they come on right after the pay-per-view, and it's like, oh, I might as well stay and watch this.
The WWE Network ones were good. his podcast, his strictly audio one, it was okay, but some of those early ones were like really weird. It was just like him doing a monologue, and it was like, "No, guys, let me tell you, if you go out of the house and you forget your keys and you lock yourself out, you got to make sure you go out to the truck and get a tool." And like he's just giving all this weird life advice. It's like it's just so weird. It's like, why is Stone Cold Steve Austin talking to me about how to like pick locks? Like I don't know.
Yeah, I had no interest in. I honestly had no interest in hearing but Jericho. I was drawn in right away. We talked to Jericho.
Yeah,
I've listened to a couple Jericho podcasts. Some of them are really off the deep end, but I get why he does it. It draws people in. So,
Like I love when Jericho does the paranormal ones
yeah.
because it's just like it's so different to hear like him bring in these spooky characters, and
He's got some.
it was
interesting
actually
stuff.
part of him doing that was inspiration why we started the wrestling with the paranormal.
I'm sure that I'm sure that the family of the late Bob Saget loves him doing a conspiracy episode about Bob Saget's death. I'm sure they love that. Yeah,
When was that?
it's a month or two back. Like
he's
did-
always doing conspiracy theory.
Oh, I know.
Well, the thing
Yeah.
is, he's very clever about it too because he just asks them questions. He doesn't.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like he doesn't necessarily believe it, but he knows people will tune in and listen if he talks about it.
Yeah, he just asks them questions and lets them ramble.
Yeah. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying that that Bob Saget died for any malfeasance, but I don't know. I don't know what happened. What do you guys think? And that's kind of like what Jericho does with his podcast.
I don't think he sounds like that. It's like,
He does. If you listen to it, he says "a" like 10,000 times every podcast. But yeah. Anyways, moving on here.
do I say A? Do I say A a lot?
I haven't noticed you say "a" a lot.
We need an A counter on this show for when I say A.
Maybe that's like, is that
We're
like
at 3 right now, so
Is it like a certain part of Canada that says A lot?
I'm pretty sure it's all of Canada that
Because you're a West Coaster, so like you might be a little different than like.
he lives in
I'm
that
not-
Hollywood, Canada.
I'm not going to be doing what's the one a boot. I don't do
boot?
that one.
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
That's really far east. A boot.
yeah. I was gonna say shout out to Luna Havoc. I know she's part of the effing wrestling community, but I follow her on TikTok, and sometimes I watch her lives, and she says a boot. You know, she'll talk about wrestling. I'm trying to figure out what this angle is a boot. You know, it's like, yeah.
And
Well,
she
hopefully
doesn't know
she's not
she's doing
talking a boot and angle that's a boot. That would be kind of awkward.
it. What is this all a boot? I'm making fun of my own people.
So after the match here, we got a Darby segment. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even remember what the hell he said, but I just wanted to bring up that. Did you guys see what Darby Allin did this week?
Yep.
Why?
I don't know.
He got the face tattoo of a claw.
He got
Maybe
a
the extra
face
hand is to help
tattoo.
him climb the mountain later on.
The man got
Face
a face
tattoos are
tattoo.
such a bad idea. I guess for a wrestler, and your face is always painted, but
Well, just for anybody out there that doesn't know what we're talking about, Darby Allin got a face tattoo, and he visited this thing called the Nitro Circus, which is like a stunt show, and went down a half pipe on a motorcycle, completely wiped out, and probably screwed up his arm or shoulder or something because he landed on it. Like it's so bizarre to take that kind of risks when you're like on a weekly television show where you're doing like stunts and choreographed fights. Like it's just so bizarre.
Not just that, he's supposed to be going here anytime to go practice mountain climbing.
Yeah.
He ain't doing that with an arm in his
It's
sling.
like he is an adrenaline junkie.
He seems like it.
Yeah, I hope he stays safe, man. Like I don't want to see him. Are you guys familiar with the UFC fighter Evan Tanner? Did you?
Yes.
Yeah. So Evan Tanner was kind of like Darby. Like he liked to do just outlandish shit and kind of like do his own thing. So he like drove a motorcycle out to the middle of the desert and like ran out of gas and died because of that. You know, it's like you got to be careful with these risks, man. I know you're an adrenaline junkie, but you got to like tone it down a little bit. So I don't want to see that happen to him. Ayaka says, was Isaac on a radio show before before being the expert talker? I was not, but I tell you what, my dream job growing up was to be on the radio. And that's no joke. Like I really did want to be on the radio back in the day. I think
Marty
Joe
says, I think Joe should climb Mount Everest with Darby.
I'm not even going to dignify that with a response.
You know, we're going to have Marty on the show with Joe Graham tomorrow on the round table.
Hey, you know, we've got a link out there.
I can be professional. I don't know if Marty can because he's always drunk. So
he's at Hooters right now.
I know.
I went and followed Marty Jannetty on Facebook.
Why?
Because his statuses are hilarious. It's like every day he's posting up some bullshit, and it's obviously made up, but it's just hilarious though. Like it's just so funny.
So what you should do is you should continually screenshot them and post them to the effing wrestling community.
You know, I did that the last time I did it. I got like sad faces. like he posted something about like, I mean, I can't even repeat it on YouTube. It was something very sexually graphic. And I took a screenshot of it and I put it in the chat, and it got like 2 like sad faces of like people feeling bad for him. If he really did what he said in the status, I wouldn't feel bad for him. I mean, you know,
you should make that a segment on on the magic of wrestling.
Oh, that would make Liam.
Oh yes.
You know, Liam is so straight laced. Like he would be so uncomfortable with that.
Well, don't do the.
I think he likes to be uncomfortable though. I think he likes it because I gotta test his limits. I think you do a little bit.
He made another bet that he would do a show without a shirt on. I'm just saying.
I think that was before you were here, right?
Before I was with you guys.
The first one, yes. He just did one recently, like what last week?
I'd been doing guest spots on I did a couple guest spots for you guys around that time that he agreed to do.
Oh, so you remember the 100 like?
Yeah.
And you do
well, because it was about an episode that I was on. Like I was on an episode with him as a guest, and you popped in the chat and said, if this gets 100 views, you got to take your shirt off next week. And I remember jokingly ribbing him saying, oh, well, I'm going to get friends and family to watch this shit now. And we're going to get over 100. And I think we got up to like 97 or something.
It was 99.
99.
It's so crazy because I told people, because I knew Liam was so uncomfortable that he had to do with his shirt off.
Yeah.
I told people, take your foot off the gas because I didn't want this.
I mean, full disclosure, I watched the podcast like 3 times. So.
All right, match number 2. We had Sky Blue versus Hollywood Haley J. Interesting that name to pop up here.
Excited to see Hollywood.
Yeah. Now, I do think it's very interesting, and I think I know why. They didn't make any mention of the show and its popularity and the fact that she might be known from that. And I think it's because Max is a competitor of Netflix. I think that's why they didn't mention it.
Oh, so I think they would have if they could.
Yeah. Because I thought about that and I was like, well, why are they not promoting that she's on this like world famous show that like everybody's seeing and everybody's talking about? But then I was like, Warner Brothers is a competitor of Netflix with Max.
Well, couldn't they have said, oh, she's from OVW?
See, and here's the thing too, they're not even mentioning OVW because this match and then the tag team in the next match, that was an OVW tag team too. There were several OVW talents on this.
I really think it's because if you Google OVW, you're going to find Netflix. I think they didn't want to give them any advertising at all.
I think that's what it is. And I understand that.
But yeah, if you're watching these, you're like, yes, these are the guys from.
Yeah, I mean, it's good marketing, but then again, I understand that it kind of flies in the face of your suitors competition. But this was a nice little match here. It didn't last very long. Sky Blue was very aggressive and just beat the shit out of this poor girl. She got a couple of licks in early on, but they're really amping up the aggression of Sky Blue. She's got the sleepy black eyes, like she hasn't slept for a week, and she just like got on this poor Haley J girl and just punched her mercilessly in the face and ended up winning the match. So
I don't understand the Scooby Doo tights.
Yeah, definitely not a babyface turning heel move to put like beloved cartoon character colors on your pants.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like maybe, like I understand if it's like blue and black, maybe her slowly getting blacker. That probably be a better way to do it.
What'd you think of the match aside from her attire, Canada Dry?
It was. I was excited to see Holly Hood, so I knew she wasn't going to get much in, but Dollywood said she needs to do some squats. Get that ass nice and peachy.
Build the posterior chain a little bit. Yeah.
Well, it's part of a girl's look. They got to have the peachy.
I mean, I can't argue with that. I mean, a big part of wrestling is aesthetics.
I didn't say it. Dollywood said it. So
a big part of wrestling is aesthetics.
Yes,
so,
aesthetics.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Hey-o, Golden Graham, what'd you think of the match?
The match was okay. Sky Blue needs a new finisher because people don't know how to do it. The last couple of times I've seen her do it, like once or twice, it's been really bad. She needs something different, especially if she's going to turn heel. She doesn't need to be doing a flippy face happy move.
Yeah.
So
I would agree with that. All right, I think that's that kind of does it for that one. We got match number 3 here. We see the Guns versus the Outrunners. Now, this is a tag team that's in OVW as well.
They've also been in NWA, and they've also been featured regularly on Ring of Honor and Dark. So they've been around a bit.
Yeah. I didn't know about those other appearances. I just know I always see them on OVW anytime I watch it. But yeah, the one guy kind of looks like a pumped up Effie. Like if Effie like lifted weights a lot, he would look like this guy. But anyways,
they definitely look like a callback to the 80s.
They look kind of like the Beverly Brothers.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they look like to me. You remember the Beverly Brothers?
Love the Beverly Brothers.
That's what they look like to me. Yeah. I mean, what's there to say about this match? The Guns won.
The best thing is what happened after the match.
Yeah. Effing Golden Graham, why don't you tell us about that?
So after the match, Bullet Club is in the ring celebrating. And does it go black or does it just cut to the Titantron? I don't remember.
Black.
It went black.
It goes black, which seems to be a theme throughout the night here. And then we just see the Devil Mask appear. I'm glad to see they're addressing it. But once again, there's a difference between long-term storytelling and taking forever to tell a story.
Right.
And I don't understand why they go to this lights out thing for everything.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's no need to turn the lights out.
They go to the well a little too much.
Yeah, it makes, well, for one, it builds up this anticipation that a video package like this can't live up to. But then again, when you've done it 4 times in the night, like I got tired of seeing the lights get cut off. I'm like, okay.
I would have liked to see maybe some snow on the screen instead. Do a snow screen.
A little static.
MJF shows up.
Like my problem is like we already know you're there. They should have given us some kind of a hint as to who you are.
Right.
Something. I'm not just a little something that lets us at least start talking about it because
yeah,
I think it's a hint and shows us it's still there.
Well, yeah, I mean, because they've still been talking about it, but like something. Because clearly,
I don't think we're going to find out for a while on this one.
Oh no, we're not going to find out till full gear.
If we even find out then.
I hope
Drag
so.
this out forever.
This will be one of those things where Hornswoggle's the GM. What?
Oh God.
It's going to be Vince McMahon under the devil mask. Watch.
Oh, imagine. It's Shane McMahon.
Yeah, it's I don't understand why they're just dragging this out, but just barely mentioning it ever so often. It's kind of strange, but you gotta love Nigel McGuinness. I think this proves very clearly that this is MJF.
I love Nigel. I love Nigel.
Dude, I am over Nigel and this heel crap. I'm done with it. Like I
Do you know what my
don't
favorite
need to
thing
hear him
Nigel
talking.
says?
I don't need him talking like this on my screen for 3 hours. Don't need it. Don't want it.
I love when he calls Bryan Danielson a clam digger.
I swear, if this doesn't lead to a Danielson and Nigel match somewhere down the line, then this is really dumb.
Do you think Nigel's gonna wrestle again?
He was cleared to wrestle it all in. Like he worked and he was basically ready to get to wrestle it all
You
in.
never know if he could be on Bryan Danielson's greatest hits album here on the way out.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility. I mean, that was like his number one rival in Ring of Honor back in the day, so very real possibility. Anyways, yeah, we saw the devil. Still don't know who he is. One of the 15 freaking times the lights went out on the show. The next thing we see, we've got Lexi Nair with Orange Cassidy. This is so weird. Like Statlander just wanders onto the screen and mumbles something about not getting her workout in. So she picks up Lexi Nair and starts.
I love it
her.
so much.
Well, I've been like, well, hey Chris, maybe go to the gym. You know where the weights are.
Yeah,
No, I love this.
I don't know. It just seemed random and bizarre, but you know, it was what it was.
They did this with before with Renee Paquette, and this is just kind of like picking up from where they left off.
They did, didn't they? Yeah. So what you're saying is that if I miss a workout, I just need to walk into my copy room in the office, grab whatever woman is standing at the copier, and just start squatting her.
Well, she has to be. She has to. I think she has to have blonde hair. Is one of the rules. They both have blonde hair.
What you should do is just go walk to HR and do squats outside the office till you get called in.
I am HR, so yeah.
Oh, he can get away with murder. HR, I can do that.
All right. Afterwards, we've got match number 4, guys. We've got the street fight. Now, have you ever in your life brought bottles of ketchup and mustard to a street fight? Does that ever happen?
No.
Have either of you gentlemen ever been in a street fight?
Well, if it's a fight outside in the street, yes. That's a street fight, right?
So I mean, this was kind of, you know, the wacky shenanigans match of the night. I thought it was funny. At the end of the match, you see Jeff Jarrett and his hair is just yellow from mustard. I mean, this was okay for what it was. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I get why they did it. Jeff Jarrett wins, which means that Jay Lethal now has a shot at the Ring of Honor Championship. Canada F and Dry, what did you think of the Memphis street fight?
I liked it for what it was. It was entertaining. Now, is it going to be like a 5-star match or anything? No, but if you're accepting it for what it is, just a fun old goofball sort of smashing hot dogs on someone's head and hitting trash cans on something. It was good. I liked it.
Golden Graham, what'd you think?
Yeah, it was fine. It's what I come to expect from a Jeff Jarrett booked match. Just chaos. But Satnam Singh, sir, don't ever try and do the strut ever again. You ruined it so bad.
Yes, that strut was bad.
Oh no.
No more Fargo strut for Satnam Singh. That's for sure. All right, moving on from there, we've got the Acclaimed with Lexi there. And Caster mentions that he wants her to use a belt on him, and then gets ashamed and goes and points his nose in the corner while the rest of the his partners finish the promo. God, I'm sorry. I know you guys like this. I hate what they're doing with them. Like I hate it. I hate this stupid shit that Caster's doing.
No, I don't. I'm not an Acclaim fan, to be honest with you. I think the shtick is old, and I'm getting kind of tired of them.
Joe Graham, do you like the segment?
The best part is them walking away and Max Caster still having his nose in the corner.
That was kind of funny, yeah. All right, moving on. We got match number 5. We got Action Andretti versus Miro. Now, before we talk about the match, something dawned on me about Action Andretti here. There's a bodybuilder here on YouTube, and his name is Elliot Hulse. If you look him up, Action Andretti looks like him without the muscles.
So you're saying we could do a before and after?
Yes.
For this guy on YouTube.
So they can hire this other guy to be like, and Action Andretti worked out. He comes in.
If you look this guy up, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to be like, that's Action Andretti with muscles. But anyway, CJ Perry came out, sat and watched. This was kind of a decent little back and forth match. I thought it was going to be a squish, to be honest with you. But it wasn't. It was a little competitive. And of course, Miro kills him at the very end of it. I didn't hate this. I thought this was a good match. Effing Golden Graham, what'd you think of this?
I agree. It was a good TV match. Like this is done more for in my eyes for Action Andretti than anything in like the last year. Like it made him at least look competent. Whereas just having him in meaningless tag and trio matches really wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
I'm kind of confused though as to why CJ Perry only wants to manage losers.
Well, as we'll get to it later on, she's going for a big dog.
He lost tonight too, though.
Yeah, but it's his first loss.
Wouldn't you say?
I totally agree with Joseph here. This was Action Andretti's best match.
Yep.
This is even better than him beating Chris Jericho. I thoroughly enjoyed it. They did great ring psychology because whenever you thought Action Andretti was about to lose, they flipped the script and had him get in some offense, and it was an entertaining match, and good on him.
Yeah, I like that first reversal of the game over.
Yeah,
where he just rolled through. That was nice.
That was nice. Yeah, it was a nice touch.
I just have a question. Did I miss something? Because I heard the announcer say like, "Oh, Miro didn't want his wife to come in until he wins gold."
No, I think that's just they're trying to fill the story.
I was like, that would make sense, but he's already been TNT champion. And he was a really good TNT champion at that.
We don't mention the past.
Okay, guys, I was going to do the rest of the paranormal now, but before we do, we have to talk about something that happened tonight on Impact.
Okay. What happened on Impact?
They are rebranding back to TNA.
Really?
The total nonstop action. Yep.
Oh wow, I did not see this.
It was.
Yeah, this was.
They ran a little video package after the main event.
Very interesting.
But I don't think it's until January at the Hard to Kill pay-per-view.
But it's just like, so to me,
this doesn't do anything.
Like what is this?
This isn't going to get you a better TV deal.
I don't know if it's just going back to their roots because like it makes more sense. Like everyone's TNA this, TNA that, and now
if they're going to go to TNA, then they better bring back the 6-sided ring.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean they're going to have to bring back what really made them TNA.
Yeah.
Yeah, the X division, the ultimate X matches with the 6-sided ring. I mean, that's the kind of stuff they're going to need to do if they go back to the TNA brand.
Is this their answer to the NWA TV deal?
I mean, if it
Hell
is,
if I know.
it's not a very good one.
No.
Um,
Well, they
all
said
right,
the
so
reason why they changed it originally was because TNA was hard to market to like executives of companies for sponsorships.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're the company who owns a company that owns the TV show and the TV channel, you don't have to go and pitch it to anybody, so you can call it whatever you want.
Right.
all right, so now I'm going to show you guys the wrestler with the paranormal vault video of the week. All right, so it's pretty late where you guys are, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so don't get too creeped out with this video.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so I'll give you a little bit of a story ahead of this. A car crashed over the side of a bridge, and I think the people inside died. And this is what followed afterwards.
Wow.
I mean,
They give you the creeps.
a little bit, yeah.
It's like the what is it, the Twilight Zone episode where there's like the little creature outside the airplane like tearing off the wing of the airplane little by little, and William Shatner tries to warn everybody, and like everybody's like, oh, just shut up, there's nothing out there, and then eventually he just rips the whole wing off and the plane crashes.
It's like, but I'm the captain of the Starship Enterprise.
That's what that kind of reminded me of. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is some sort of Grim Reaper, maybe?
It kind of looks like
I,
a little goblin or something. Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I don't know. I couldn't. It just boggles my mind that we have such great technology, we can't get a good picture of what was on top of that truck.
Because I slowed it right down and I
Yeah,
paused it, and it was flickering a bit.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I don't know what it was. It definitely looked like it could have been a Grim Reaper type figure.
He's like, I just making sure you guys are dead down there. Just double checking.
The origination of the actual drive-by. No.
He's like, all right, I gotta check on these guys. I got other places to be.
Uh,
And this segment has been brought to you by the Kill City Cup.
ooh.
I could tell you all about it, but I'd rather just show you.
Let's see.
Welcome to the Kill City Cup. I got the world by the ball.
And we'll get all the sponsoring out of the way. And of course, head on over to, if you want to become a professional wrestler, head on down to Largo, Florida, and be trained by Natalia Markova and Brian Idol. They are with the NWA, and it's $250 a month. Yeah, what can I say? That if you want to be a professional wrestler, they'll teach you the fundamentals. They'll teach you all you need to know to become a professional wrestler, but even be on TV with the NWA.
Yeah. Very, very good opportunity.
So just to get all the plugs out of the way for now, this Sunday, speaking of the Kill City Cup, we got Mason X and April Hunter. Mason X, he's pretty out there. He's got this crazy mask making business, and I've seen some of these masks. They're pretty amazing.
Oh yeah.
And April Hunter, she's a former NWO girl, TNA, and as well as she's been in Playboy.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Big deal.
So that's Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern, and we'll be showing them some paranormal videos and getting their opinions on some of the paranormal stuff, and we'll find out a little bit more about them and the Kill City Cup.
Guys, we got a former Playboy model that's going to be right here on All Effing Wrestling. That is tremendous.
Stone Cold can't say that. No.
Oh no, is it?
Up your
Stone
Stone
Cold
Cold.
later.
All right, moving on here. Let's see, where do we leave off? We see Lexi Nair with the old JAS team. I don't really know what else to call them. I just call them the old JAS team. They had a little.
They should be called the Appreciation Society.
Just the Appreciation Society. We just appreciate things.
Yes, that'd be good if they went in with that gimmick. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Except for Daniel Garcia's dancing.
Yeah,
Don't appreciate that.
Daddy Magic was talking about. We had a great breakfast this morning as a team with no dancing, and Danny Garcia looks at him like his feelings are hurt, and Anna Jay like steps in between and tells him to stop, and that's pretty much the end. Ruby Soho comes in, mumbles something about how she deserves to be a champion, and okay.
I was like, what was the interaction between her and Cool Hand Luke there before? It was like,
yeah, that was kind of at first strange. I thought it was some kind of weird flirtation or something, but then
I was like, I don't think it is.
It kind of turned to like a backhanded compliment kind of deal.
I'm kind of interested to see like where if they do. Hopefully they do something with it. I mean, why not? It gives them both something to do because they ain't doing anything else.
Yeah, jobbing. That's basically what they're doing, putting people over. Moving on, we've got a Roosh video promo where he looks more like a mafioso kind of guy. Typical stuff here, not really anything of any notation, so we will go ahead and move on. Now, I want to talk about this next promo. This was straight up fire. And I'm talking about the Eddie Kingston promo backstage on Jay Lethal. Yeah, this was amazing. I love this promo. It felt real. It felt genuine. It was delivered perfectly with the perfect amount of emotion, using Jay Lethal's shoot name and talking about his parents. I absolutely adored this segment. What did you guys think? Golden Graham, I'll start with you.
Like, you all know I'm not a big Eddie Kingston fan, but I really liked this. I think it's the best thing he's done. It didn't feel forced or like over the top. Like, it felt natural. I really liked it.
Canada F and draw.
Yeah, the talking about the saddest thing is when I'm beating you, your mama is going to be crying. She's not be crying because you're beat. She's crying because you deserve it. That was such a good line. And using his birth name was pretty good.
His government name.
Yes.
Yep. That was amazing. Yeah, I agree. I think that's the best thing that Eddie Kingston has done since being in AEW. I think it was that good. But moving on from there, we've got match number 6. We got a FTR versus some jobbers. I didn't get their names, but one of the guys literally had like the Hulk Hogan facial hair with like the Kid and Play flat top on his head.
Oh, yes, he was Bad Thad Brown. I was laughing at this guy's name.
Yeah, I'm like, what is that name?
I was laughing at his style, like
he just looked silly.
Ooh, man, that was something. Anyways, this didn't last because obviously the lights went out. Malachi Black, our good old friend Malachi Black, is back in the ring again. This time he brought Buddy Matthews and Brody King, and they beat down FTR to end this match. Now, I didn't see an official declaration from the referee here, so technically this match might still be going on.
They said this match has been thrown out.
Oh, thrown out. That's what it is. That old gag. Okay. What did you guys
Wouldn't it
think
be
of,
disqualification for?
It should be. FTR should have won by DQ.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the House of Black ambush here of FTR? Canada Dry, what do you think?
I'm like they're just fighting everyone. Holy crap! Like no one's safe.
Golden Graham.
I was kind of disappointed that Edge didn't come down to make. I mean, Adam Copeland didn't come down to make the save. I thought that's what we were going to get, because then you could have a House of Black versus BCC versus Rated FTR thing. Like, but I don't know. Maybe they'll still go that way. Who knows?
He's got to finish his beef with Christian before he moves on
Yeah.
to something else. Yeah. But yeah, I like this. I thought this was pretty cool. I think I swear, was it Wednesday night? I was just literally asking where the hell House of Black were.
I think so. Yeah.
And the gods of pro wrestling heard me. They heard the words of the effing expert and brought my boys back tonight. So
Well, no, I think Tony Khan watches our programs. He's like, oh, geez, those guys from effing wrestling, eh? They want the House of Black back, eh?
it's like, I like that effing expert, that Mr. Isaacs. Thanks, guys. Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, moving on. We are at the main event now of Collision, but we're not done with the program yet, guys. But this is the main event of the initial show, Collision. Good old Jim Ross carted out the ringside. You know, you're in for a treat when good old JR is here on the mic. Claudio and Wheeler Yuta versus Starks and Big Bill. I mean, this match was okay. I didn't think it was anything special. Basically, it was just a filler to get to the point of House of Black once again coming out and attacking Claudio, which left Yuta in the ring to be double teamed and pinned. And then they came back in the ring, teased they were going to attack Starks and Big Bill, and then turned their attention to Wheeler Yuta. And that's when all hell broke loose. FTR came out, Danielson came out, Moxley came out of the crowd, and it was a big schmoz to end the show. What'd you guys think?
I thought the match was fine. It was a half an hour match, surprisingly enough. Like that was a long match.
Too long.
It's a long match.
Funny enough, JR calls Claudio Cesaro at one point.
Oh, did he? I didn't even catch that.
And Wheeler Yuta was in this match a lot. Like he was taking a beating. One of my favorite things, though, at the end was when House of Black cons Ricky Starks to go back in the ring. They just let him get beat up. I thought that was
just
brilliant.
that, but so did Big Bill. Like Big Bill didn't even try to save his partner.
Yeah,
like, that was really weird.
I thought that was weird too. Yeah,
Like Ricky Starks is supposed to be like the head of the team, right?
Yeah,
So
it's supposed to be kind of like his mentor or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was really weird because then they cut to Big Bill and he's standing at the top of the ramp with both tag titles.
Oh, they should definitely have him getting scolded by Ricky Starks later.
I think that's probably coming. Yeah,
I would
it's
think
probably
so.
coming. I just wonder what good old Enzo has to say about his former partner being a tag champion now. It would be kind of interesting to see. To my understanding, that those two didn't actually really get along that well. So I don't know. Maybe they don't speak, but I'd be kind of curious to see. Anyways, we are moving on to.
Can I just say something real quick?
Sammy Callahan apparently was backstage tonight for AEW.
I saw that report. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was expecting him to actually come out during the end of that brawl with Eddie Kingston. Maybe come in for the save.
I could see that. Golden Graham, what were you going to say?
I said they missed a golden opportunity. They should have had Claudio swing Ricky all the way up till they come back on for Battle of the
Yes.
Yeah, I don't see how he does that without all the blood just like rushing out of his head and him passing out. Like I don't see how he does that, but it's pretty
My
impressive.
brother came over and he's like, he wanted to watch for a bit, and he's like, "What's this swing and shit?" He's just like, "What? This supposed to hurt?" Right?
I don't know if you've ever seen the video, but there's a video. I think he was when Claudio was in PWG. He literally did 100 swings.
Oh my god, that sounds like a PWG kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to the casual fan or the person just tuning in, they're like, "It's supposed to work." Like I don't. I was like, I didn't know what to tell him. Like it's just. I'm like, got nothing.
well, you see, when you're doing that, you're disorienting the guy, so that he's going to have trouble walking backstage, and it's going to affect him long term.
Yes, it's a long-term thing.
It's going to give him some short-term vertigo.
And if you're Chris Jericho, you'll just tap automatically. you got your whole career ahead of you. You got to just tap.
Yeah.
All right, so now we are in the War of the Worlds, Battle of the Belts. Little Orson Welles here. We got Orange Cassidy versus Long John Silver for the International Championship. Now, obviously, I don't think I would be very surprised if a single person in our prediction league said that Silver was going to win this.
I thought he was there a couple times.
It was a good match. Like
it was a good match. Yeah,
I really enjoyed this match. I am not a John Silver fan. Not even the Johnny Hungy era.
He's more of a Captain D's man.
Yeah, I never like even when Dark Order was at its peak. I'm like, I'm not digging this Johnny Hungy guy. It's like, just like that's all he's got. Johnny Hungy. That's his line.
Like I'm a fan of John Silver as a wrestler because he's really good, but he shouldn't have been in this match. Like, there's no way he should have had a shot for a title. Like he hasn't been presented credibly. He comes off. He's literally a comedy character, like worse than what Orange Cassidy was.
Yeah,
but Alex Reynolds hits Cassidy with the belt and almost got the 3 count.
Yeah. There's a couple of times where I thought, oh man, they're really going to put this title on John Silver.
Yeah, I strongly figured it was going to stay with OC, but I mean, this was a really good match though. And I mean, John Silver is a good wrestler. He really is. I've seen him work indies outside of AEW where he, kind of does longer form matches. And I mean, he's really good. He's solid. He's definitely solid. This was a good match. Obviously, the typical Orange Cassidy comedy spots I hated John Silver putting his hands in Orange Cassidy's pants.
My brother's like, what's he doing?
Like, oh,
the whole gimmick.
Like I hated that. But that just par for the course. It's just part of the territory when you're dealing with the comedy shtick of these two. But good match though. Afterwards, we see a little segment backstage where CJ Perry is apparently interested in Andrade El Idolo. So I guess I would strongly assume this is going to be setting up Miro versus Andrade next.
And I'm fine with that because that'll be fun.
It'll be a good match. Yeah, it'll be a good match. You think they're going to job Andrade out to Miro? Is that what they're going to do here?
I don't know because Andrade needs a win, like a big win.
Andrade's so good. I don't want to see them like put Miro over him, but I guess that's what's going to happen here. Canada, what do you think?
Well, CJ Perry walking off with Andrade would be a good story.
It would.
I'm sure Charlotte Flair would love it. Noob just said the same thing that I said. Charlotte Flair will be furious if Andrade's with another woman.
Well, imagine if Miro has to go through another cuck scene.
Yeah. What if Bobby Lashley shows up and they just
Or
reunite
Dolph.
him? Or Dolph and
Dolph's a
Dolph.
free agent, so
Yeah, Dolph could show up. Yeah.
It should have. It just comes back. It should have been me.
right.
All right, moving on here. We've got another match that nobody should be surprised about at all. Tony Nese versus Samoa Joe for the Ring of Honor television title. Now,
Squishy, squishy, quack, quack.
did anybody on Earth think Tony Nese was winning this? Please tell me that nobody in our league predicted Tony.
Well, this
Nese.
wasn't even on the card.
Oh, it wasn't. Oh, okay.
Tony Nese, I guess he fills a small niche that needs to be like for that credible jobber,
Right?
To like piss people off, but he's never been booked strong in AEW since he got here.
No, not at all.
No. Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if he's not re-signed.
Yeah, he's gonna be one of those guys that just phases out and disappears into the ether, along with Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Sonny Kiss,
yeah,
he was showed up at Impact tonight.
Oh, did he? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Well, good for Sonny Kiss to get a job with Impact. So hopefully he'll be able to do a little more there than he did in AEW the past couple of years for sure. Obviously this was a squish for Joe. Joe absolutely killed him, and then he cuts a promo on MJF. Now this is something AEW does that I think is interesting. It's like they kind of wrap wrestlers up in like multiple angles here. It's like MJF is already occupied with Bullet Club Gold and Jay White and Juice Robinson and that whole thing. But now Samoa Joe's calling him out for a fight again.
You know what? I love this. You know why?
Why's that?
Because it's realistic.
Yeah.
If someone was the world champion, everyone is gunning for you. You're like, well, I'm sorry I can't go after you now because you're involved. Sorry about that. It's like, no one's going to do that.
That's true.
Everyone's going to.
We even had Kenny.
You're dealing with me.
You even had Kenny Omega teasing it on Wednesday, which I think is what honestly like AEW has been missing. It feels like, especially with their top title, it's just been a straight line when there's been like no deviation.
We got Wardlow saying
Right.
he's coming after MJF.
Yeah. Yeah. What if Wardlow and Samoa Joe are two of the henchmen involved with the devil?
I really think Wardlow is.
Yeah. It'd be interesting.
I think Wardlow's going to be the one under the devil mask.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's a very real possibility. I wouldn't mind seeing it. Moving on here, we've got Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander for the TBS Championship. This was a good match. I liked it. Nightingale was like kind of acting like she was going heel a week ago, and then this week she's like back to being at least mostly bubbly and not acting like a heel at all. No longer has the black marks under her eyes. I don't know. I don't know if maybe they just reversed course because they thought we can't make this girl a heel. Come on, this is ridiculous. But this was a good match. Obviously Statlander comes up with the victory. Sky Blue runs out, desperate to stop the handshake between Willow Nightingale.
That is just ridiculous. Runs to the ring. No!
She should have just came out there and just punched Chris Statlander and called it a day.
Yeah.
That's what she should have did.
That would have made more sense than this weird, don't shake her head, she might have cooties. Or
at the very least, you kick the hand away.
She wiped her ass before the match, but she
Anything.
didn't wash. Maybe that's what happened.
Yes.
And then, like, even afterwards, I was waiting for Sky Blue to attack Chris Statlander because they were both standing in that ring for a long time.
Yeah.
And then she just walks away. I'm like, okay.
She's looking in disgust at her friend who's shaking hands with all the fans.
Oh, so disgusting.
More cooties. watch out. No.
Yeah.
But real
what
quick,
hand
like,
was.
I thought Stat almost knocked herself out at the end there. Like, she really overshot that 450. Like, I thought she was going to knock herself out. Like, that was kind of scary.
Yeah, absolutely. they got to reel it in a little bit. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt
Overall, I
yourself.
thought this was a great match, though. Statlander, she can match with anyone. I'm not really a fan of her with the bigger women too much. Kind of takes away from her a bit.
Yeah, it does a little bit. I see where you're coming with that. Yeah.
So in other words, you don't want them to bring back Awesome Kong to wrestle.
No, I don't want to see Awesome Kong. I don't want to see
keep Nyla
Rose. I don't want to see keep them all around Statlander size or lower.
Yeah. To make it believable, that's what you got to do. Absolutely. We're at before we get to the main event, there was an announcement of a match on Dynamite of Bryan Danielson and Claudio versus Orange Cassidy and Kazuchika Okada coming over from New Japan. That's pretty exciting.
That's cool, but why isn't Moxley in this match? It should be Danielson and Moxley.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why Claudio's in it either, unless
I mean, they've done a really good job of establishing Claudio and Yuta as a tag team. And Moxley's the one who has beef with OC.
But do you think he still has a little bit of
I think
issue
Claudio and Yuta would have been fine.
Yeah, or Claudio and Yuta. Yeah, once again, I think maybe they're going to use this to ramp up Danielson versus Okada too.
Maybe. I hope that's what they're going towards. Yes, I hope that's what they're doing. Of course, the connection here between Orange Cassidy and Okada is that Orange Cassidy is a member of Chaos,
and we didn't get Saturday Night Fever because it was a bigger woman.
Right? Yeah.
No Saturday Night Fever. This is Saturday, but you don't have a fever. All right.
But to be fair, but you also, you know what? She wasn't on Collision. She was on Battle of the Belt, so it wasn't all right for fighting.
Yeah, no one had any right to be fighting tonight. I don't know on
Battle of the Belts.
Late night Saturday night is not all right for fighting.
What about Battle with the Belts? You're whipping people.
Max Caster be running out for that one, right? Wasn't that his gag? He wants to get whipped with the belt. All right, so the main event here, we got the former JAS guys against the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass for the Trios Championship. The Memphis Grizzlies bear came out, and we had a bear scissoring moment. In Canada, I can tell you love this.
You know why I hate this?
Why is that?
Because that's not even Grizz.
I thought you were going to say because they moved from Vancouver to Memphis.
Well, that too, but it's not Grizz. That's not Grizz.
Okay.
Grizz looks different.
This was an imposter.
That's because there's no Grizzlies in America, in the U.S.
Well, the original Grizz looked a lot better. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I do. I agree. I looked at Dad Mask and I'm like, that's like a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, that Grizz is looking like shit. It looks like Kurt Wolf or something.
Well, we always heard, and I think we even mentioned this on Magic earlier today, about the bears that were involved in wrestling. Well, we just had another one. So nobody called me.
Did you talk about the Stu Hart bear?
Go ahead and tell us about the Stu Hart bear.
Well, they had a bear that they'd have come wrestle with them in Stampede Wrestling. And Bret Hart would be dealing with this as a kid. And so they had it underneath their stairs. And he'd be sitting there on the stairs licking an ice cream cone. And ice cream would fall on his foot. All of a sudden, the bear's licking his foot, getting some of that ice cream.
I mean, that used to be quite a big thing. Like wrestling bears, that kind of became like a thing that, like, you know, top baby faces would do in territory promotions. As weird as that sounds. We talked earlier today about Bruno Sammartino wrestling an ape. Apparently that happened.
Yeah.
That would never happen in today.
Yeah, I was.
I can see it happening as a guy in an ape costume on Monday Night Raw.
Maybe that, yeah.
That would be good. I mean, like a gorilla could straight up rip your face off, which literally has happened. So, like, Bruno's damn lucky he didn't get his head ripped off, but I digress. The main event, I mean, it was okay for what it was. I don't really like the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass in these trios matches. I don't think they're really that great, honestly. Like, I
Oh,
mean,
that rap to start was the what? I just,
that was bad. I mean, he even kind of got off beat there a little bit at the
yeah,
beginning. He kind of lost
that's right.
his place.
He hasn't had a
Um,
good rap in a while. Let's just say.
yeah, and I mean, the whole thing is, Daddy Magic doesn't want Danny Garcia to dance and blah blah blah. Let him dance chant from the crowd. It's just, I don't know. I didn't like this main event. I really didn't like it at all. Joe Graham, what'd you think of it?
It was all right. I don't say this often, but split up the Acclaimed. Anthony Bones is too good to be doing this. You let Anthony Bones go on a singles run. That man is too good to be floundering.
You think that Bowens is better than Max?
Yeah, absolutely, by miles. I think Bones is a better wrestler. I think he's better on the mic. I think all around Bowens is the better performer.
What do you think about this? What do you agree with him, Mr. Isaacs?
I never really thought of it, to be honest with you, but now that I think about it, I do think Bowens is the better wrestler.
I don't think he's better on the mic.
I don't think he's better on the mic either. I think Caster's better on the mic, but then again, I don't know.
Well, after they won the trios title and Bowens went on that soliloquy, that big celebration for Daddy Ass, that sealed it for me.
Yeah, I'd have to give us a thought. I don't know. I could see your point there, and who knows? Maybe at some point this will happen. Maybe Daddy Ass will cause them to break up. Who knows?
He's my Daddy Ass. No, he's my Daddy Ass.
Or just do one of those things where like they don't need to break up. Just be like, you know what? We've done all we can as a tag team and a trio. Let's just want to go get some singles gold.
As over as the scissoring thing is, though, and the t-shirts, they're not breaking them up anytime soon.
No, like I know some of us are turned off of it right now, but a lot of people are still into it.
Oh yeah, when you go to an AEW show, now granted, when I went to Dynamite, it was back in January, but it was all Acclaimed, Scissor Me Daddy, scissor signs. Like one of the only t-shirts that they even sold was the Acclaimed. And they sold a lot of them. And I got to sneeze, so go ahead and talk.
God bless you.
It's a good thing I've got that mute switch, because
right.
Otherwise I'd just be like,
I was like, he's like the quietest sneezer I've ever met.
I sound like I'm exploding all into the microphone here. That's everybody's eardrums. All right, guys. You know where we're at now. Now, how are we going to do match of the night and segment of the night? Are we going to do this entire thing as a totality, or are we going to break this up? Or
I think we should do it as a totality.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anything that's even going to come close to on Battle of the Belts that was as good as anything on.
Let's just be honest. Battle of the Belts kind of sucked aside from the women's match. I mean,
and this is what I'm saying. Tony Khan just like you got to put this before Collision.
Yeah.
Well, what they need to do is they need to actually have a title change on this. This is like the 8th Battle of the Belts they've done. There's been no title changes. When your whole gimmick
if you're putting it after Collision, you make it bigger than Collision. Like you make those big matches.
Yeah.
Part of the Battle of the Belts.
Like you didn't have like no MJF, no Sheeta, your 2 top champs.
Yep. It's just kind of a shit show. Like I don't care much for these Battle of the Belts. I really don't. I've not been impressed.
Like if you're not gonna put these premier matches on it, then put it before the start of the show to warm you up. Because if it's the momentum change from like, oh, we just had this amazing match, and then lower your expectations.
And it doesn't help that, I mean, although a couple of the matches on the card were good, all the finishes were extremely predictable.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's nothing.
There's no ambiguity here.
But had it been at the beginning of the show, before Collision, you wouldn't complain about it because you're like, it's the pre-show.
I mean, me too, because I'd be sleeping right now and not having to wait an extra hour to do the garage.
All right, gentlemen. Match of the night, segment of the night, bells of the night. I'll go ahead and go first. Match of the night, without a doubt, Bryan Danielson versus Andrade El Idolo. Segment of the night, without a doubt, Eddie Kingston cutting the promo on Jay Lethal. And I think for that match and the promo alone, I'm going to give this 3.75 bells. Canada F and Dry, what say you?
I'm also going on Andrade and Bryan Danielson. I guess the best segment of the night for me is when the lights went out and there was Malachi Black and a kick to the head of Bryan Danielson because we didn't know he's back yet. So that was pretty cool.
So
and,
the first one.
Yeah. And I'm going to give this show a 3.9.
Okay,
Always
yeah.
going to be difficult with that math.
Match of the night, Danielson. Promo of the night, Eddie Kingston. And like me and Mr. Isaacs are on the same wavelength, like 3.75.
Yep.
I mean, you would think we would, and I promise we did not corroborate or I'm not copying him, but it's literally I had the same thought as him. So
Yep.
Hey,
Or
let's get
average.
together and screw Canada Dry over because we'll come up with the same answers.
See, we had an American only effing wrestling meeting prior to this, and we decided on our answers right there. That's what it was.
Okay, this is we're in a cahoots here. We're gonna screw everyone over here.
It was the
Everyone.
American branch meeting of the effing wrestling community.
All right.
And,
All right, what's our score?
3.8. Not bad.
3.8.
That's
Not bad. Canada Dry.
New
You wanna do
what-
the
new
honors
what's-
and close this out?
What's to say? His match tonight is Andrade versus Danielson. So tonight is Eddie Kingston promo. 3.5 out of 5 bells.
It's good, noob. Thanks for chiming in, brother. I appreciate it.
Now, did you guys ever try milk in a bag?
No.
Yes, in middle school and elementary school, I had like bags of milk.
Really? I thought
Yes.
this was only in Canada.
Nope.
I always had cartons. Yeah. Or little boxes. Yeah.
Well, I never had, like, my mom never got the milk in the bags, but every once in a while I go to a friend's house and they got this weird carton or with this weird jug that you put the milk in the bag and just kept them.
Fascinating. But now what made you bring this up at the end of the garage after midnight on the
Why
East
do
Coast?
I do half the stuff I do? It's the Magic 8 Ball. The Magic 8 Ball. Have you ever drank milk out of a bag? All signs point to yes.
Well, where did he stick the straw?
Don't use a straw.
No, this is a big, like, this is like at least a 1 liter or 2 liter, and you're dumping it.
Oh, so like in school, like I had like an individual sized bag of milk. So like we just bite the corner off and just squirt it into our mouths.
Wow.
You're like,
Yeah, it looked like we were sucking on udder.
yeah, I got myself.
Oh.
Hey, you want to pass me one of those titties of milk over there? Pass me a titty. Oh my God.
Yes. All right, Canada Dry, go ahead and do the honors and close us out here.
All right, guys. What do we want to do? We want to let you know that you can buy yourself a shirt, one of our many shirts at Pro Wrestling Tees /F and Wrestling. And we also got the Hot Wheels shirt. I haven't put it up yet, but that Hot Wheels shirt looks sharp. And other than that, we're all tired, so we'll call it a show. So on behalf of the F and expert, Mr. Isaacs, on behalf of GM Golden Graham, on behalf of myself, Canada F and Dry, just so you know, sometimes life doesn't always go your way, and sometimes you get hit with some bad news. Sometimes you're hurting for other people, and sometimes you're bearing weight you're not meant to carry. You know, you gotta ask for help. You gotta let people lift you up and come around you and support you. And you know, we're not an island unto ourselves. We're a community, and we're meant to lift each other up. So reach out to one of us if you need help. If you need just someone to talk to, we're here for you. That being said, remember to just keep fighting.
This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.
Roadhouse.